Hello and welcome to Tonic Studios. My name's Alison and today I'd like to share with you how to make the timeless tea jar. So what do we need? Here are all the die cuts you're going to need to make a basic jar. You can add any decoration into these mix as you're going along. So if you wanted to cut patterns into them, you do it at this point. So what have we got? So I've taken the main shape and I've cut two. So then moving along, I've got two bases and this is the largest of the octagons. The smaller octagon fits the taller jar because the base is a little bit smaller. But we will still need that shape for this set. So you've got a couple of choices with this pattern. You've got two deboss patterns, but you've also got a decorative pattern, which is this one, which is going to give you a cutout pattern. But if you're going to use that, I would say overlay it with one of the other patterns, because otherwise it's going to be a little bit too flimsy along the top. So I've cut two because I like to strengthen the base. So I put one base inside the box, one base outside. So we've got 4 little tabs, which are going to make our top. So that is that shape. Then to create this, I've used one of the hexagons. And then I've used this octagon, sorry, not hexagon. So I've used one of those and then I've cut another pattern inside. In fact, I've used that one. And then we've cut the pattern in we've cut the aperture inside, sorry. Then we've got 2 lids. They will overlap and they will make our lid shape. So let's make a start, is there? So we're going to fold all our score lines. And they're all mounting folds. So you don't need any scoring tools. Every fold is done for you. Just keep working around. There we go. So what are you going to put in your tea jar? Have you got ideas at the moment? Okay, that's it for the first side. And we do exactly the same with the second. Just keep working your way around and then you don't miss any. I find it easier to do at this point. Even if I was going to cut the patterns in, I would still do my folds first. Because the more times you run your die through, you risk flattening these folds. There we are. So that's all done. So if we look at this, this is how our jar is going to go together. So we're going to start gluing. So I'm using our deluxe adhesive and this is always my glue of choice. I'm sure you've heard me say this so many times. So I'm just gluing between the 2 triangles. The straight bit is going over the tab. So I'm just going to hold that for a sec. Give my glue a chance to work. There we are. Then you can fold it because it's flat at the moment. Everything is flat. You can use the pressure of the desk to get a better stick. So I'm just going to pop those onto each other and they will line up perfectly as well. There we go. And that is the startings of my box. So now we work around and all these little triangles to create the facets. Oops, I should have left that glue a little bit longer. I'll pop a little bit more there. Don't think I pressed it hard enough. There we go. There we are. All done. So just work around these little triangles and they will create the gorgeous shape of this box. Sometimes less is more with glue. We think we need lots of it, but what you find is if you put too much glue on, your card will almost bubble and you'll get lots of ripples in it and it doesn't look very nice. So you just need enough to hold, but not to buckle your card. So that's the bottom done. So you're going to flip it over now and we're going to do exactly the same along the top. It's a box that looks really complicated, but it's actually very easy to put together. There we go. We're getting there. 2 more sides now and we're done. So as you can see, it does create this shape pretty quick. I think we needed a bit more glue on that one. Let's flip that around. And we'll glue that again. You are going to take your time at home, a little bit more than I am here. There we go. So that, let me give that another pinch. That is the shape of your box. So you can see the lovely facets around the top. So pretty. So we need a base. So as I said, I've cut 2 of these. The reason being, I like to pop one inside and one outside. I like to cover my workings. It gives a neater effect and it keeps people guessing how you've made it. So I'm just gluing all around the edges and this is going to go inside. So just give that a little bit of a squeeze. And then make sure your tabs are all on the outside. There we go. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop it on the desk and just press from the inside. It's easier than gluing in mid-air. So you can see the shape is coming now. So we may need a tad more glue, in which case I'll just pop a little bit around the edges. And then we'll give another press. You can use your creaser just to run around the edges. And that makes sure then that you're glued properly. I would do that for a little bit longer. But I'm conscious you don't want to be watching glue drying. So a little bit of glue all over, and again this will sit just to cover all those tabs, and it also strengthens the base of your jar. So there we go. You could pop a little weight inside it while you're waiting for everything else to finish, and that will make sure it's all glued properly. So there's our base. Now I want to make, let me just pop that off. We're going to make this bit now. So this is like the lip where your lid sits. So how do we make that? We use our pattern shape. Where's the one I use now? We've used our pattern octagon and then cut the centre out with the smaller octagon. But don't cut your dies at the same time, cut them separately. and then we've got the 4 little tabs. So, right, these are valley folds, so these are a little bit different to the last ones, and we're just going to make a chain of them. So again, fold all your tabs first. There we are. And glue them into a line. This will then fit inside the octagon. There we are, last one. I'm going to give it a little press again, just to make sure it all holds together. Last one, we'll join it all together. So there's our little octagon made. Well, I'm asking such a lot of this glue today. I'm not even giving it a chance to hold. So how does this go together? We're going to pop. Make sure you've got the corners in the right places. And this will sit inside. And then we'll pop a little bit of glue under each one. And then it will go on the top of the box. There we go. No, one more. This feels like an never-ending wall. Last one. Oh dear. Tell you what, we'll do it this way instead. We'll go the other way. And we'll start gluing as we go. So a little bit of glue on the first one. And hold it in place, and that gives you a starting point. Then work your way around. Give your glue a chance to work. Then move on to your next bit. And just keep popping them in as you're going along. There we are, last one. Take a little bit more time. I love the detail on this. It's so pretty. Then we're going to take our jar. A little bit of glue on the top. I tend to pinch one piece together first, and that always gives me an anchor point. So hold that one together. There we are. Make sure we are lined up. Because if your first one is out, you're going to be out all the way around. So pinch one. And then you can work around. So I'm just gluing all the tabs as I'm going. There we go. Don't forget you can pop your fingers inside as well, just to give a little bit of pressure from underneath. You can use red line tape, but I tend to be a fan of glue because I think it gives a better adherence and a more long-standing adherence. There we go. So there is our top. Again, give it a little bit more time and a little bit more pressing. But that is our box all together. There we are. So how do we do the lid? The lid is simple. 2 pieces. Again, we're going to give them all a fold to start with. And these are all mounting folds. We tend to whiz around these so fast. There we go. So that is one. And you can see the shape of the lid coming now, even with the folds there. Lovely little domed lid. There we are. So you're going to glue the square in the centre is your glue point, and you make a cross. So you can line up with your score lines and try and make sure that you're all central. So I'm looking at the line across the top there, and I'm looking at the line coming down there, just to make sure that we're all square. So work around now like a wheel. So a little bit of glue and then glue the tab. Wipe off any excess as you go in, because there's bound to be a little bit of excess. Again, teeny tiny bit of glue and work around. I like to go round in circles, so I'll do one layer first and then I'll come back and do the bottom tabs. Purely because I find that by the time I've got to the beginning again, the first level is starting to dry. And I'm not causing any to come apart then. So that's the first layer glued. And then we start again with the tiny little tabs at the bottom. Make sure they're lined up at the base. So I'm looking at the corner, making sure they're a straight line. And just keep going. You can give a little bit of a pull if you think it's not going to meet. Just give your cardstock a little bit of a tug and it will get there. There we are, and this is, one more, last but one. Oh, I really miscounted there. Another extra one. There we go. And that definitely is our last. So it makes a lovely little faceted lid, but a nice shape to it as well. So this now will pop onto the top of our box. And that is your timeless tea jar all finished. Don't forget, share your projects with us online. We love to see them. We get quite excited when we see all the makes. And join us again for some more makes. Happy crafting!